Welcome everyone, Arrow here with our Kima card. Phenomenal bag chasers, and we are here too, beginning first at WrestleMania 21 and back in 2005, to eventually becoming its own premium live event and now becoming one of the big 5 events alongside WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. Without further ado, we're basically going to go through each ranking, beginning with the very first Money in the Bank winner. In 2005, our very first winner was Edge, winning it at WrestleMania 21, cashing it in at New Year's Revolution against John Cena for the WWE Championship. Tell me, guys, what do you think? Where does this man belong?
Being the first cash. Okay, so I'm going to put that as an A.
Definitely agree with the A. And the reason why I would say is, aside from it being the first, it also set the marquee for him as being the ultimate opportunist. That set the stone for that. The only reason why it's not an S is because of the way how it was cashed in. Vince McMahon has to be the one to come out and introduce. But I get it. It was the first one. So there's really no blueprint way of how to go about it. That being said, with that successful cash in, it definitely set down the road for him to be an opportunist and really helped his career elevate.
I agree with all y'all. We're going to give the ultimate opportunist, although he set the standard of surprising. Unfortunately, Vince McMahon once again screws it up. 2006, RVD wins the Money in the Bank. He would cash it in what we would know as ECW, One Night Stand. But RVD is the first one to actually formally announce the cash-in.
While I do kind of remember the premise of it, I was a little bit confused because everything was a bit hazy around his cash-in, because as soon as he won, they presented him with the ECW belt substitution for that, which was, I get it, because it was during the times where you want to drive that ECW brand. But I don't know, I guess for me, doing it like that kind of felt a little cheapened, because that ECW belt never really gained that much of a big traction that it should. I mean, but then again, what can you do with it? So that being said, I'm going to give it a C.
Yeah, and he had to choose. And I think he told, was it Paul Heyman or somebody? He told him that he didn't want to choose or something. He wanted to keep both of them. I'm going to agree with C for that one. I agree. I think that could have been a better time for RVD.
It would have been great they used someone else. Because it would have been nice for RVD to just hold that WWE belt and make that run relevant. What he did afterwards with it, yeah, I would agree. Let's give him a C. So the next one in 2007, and this was an interesting year, we have Mr. Kennedy winning at WrestleMania 23, but only to hold it for 36 days when he defended the Money in the Bank briefcase to Edge on Monday Night Raw to lose it, giving Edge a second Money in the Bank briefcase, even though he didn't officially won it at WrestleMania 23. It was the first time that the briefcase was defended, and it was Edge's second win, and he cashed it in on SmackDown the next day, jumping brand ships and beating The Undertaker to obtain the World Heavyweight Championship.
If I was Kennedy, I'm going with C. I don't think that was his time, honestly. That's just my opinion. I don't think that was time for Kennedy's, for his show. And then, they didn't even, like I said, even with the cash in, for you to lose it in a match, that's different.
I will definitely go with C. He definitely has some, promos leading to Money in the Bank, and, he was, stellar as, of what he was, what he could do. But I do agree with Fonam of the fact that he was still green a little bit as far as trying to set ways of how to approach things and how to approach his path. And because of everything surrounding that, that loss necessarily didn't hurt him, at least. Not like as it would for most that would be like, oh man, it was expected of you. We didn't really have an expectation for Mr. Kennedy yet, It was just kind of like, you're here, but it's like, But let's see. I agree with C.
I want to give him a D. I remember him winning it, but I don't remember him doing anything with it. He did his usual promo and whatever. It didn't really lead anywhere. What about Edge taking over and just holding it for a day. Is it memorable enough to be a higher ranking beyond C of Mr. Kennedy?
To have it one day, to have it one day, I'm just saying one day is different though. Like one day is different. I mean, okay, D. I give him a D. It wasn't that horrible. I give him a D.
I definitely do not have no complaints with that with the D, just because it's like you sat there for one day and you was itching at this point. Yeah, let's go back to open up opportunities, but at the same time, it's like too fast. Like, wait a minute, hold up, hold up.
I would think just B, to be honest, because just like I said, he established both spectrums of how you can cash in money in the bank, and a lot of people follow that formula in their own ways in years to come. Whether it's cashing in after someone's hurt, which he did both, but also waiting within a day or not. Pretty much playing the mind games with these wrestlers.
Let me do an audible check real quick. It's safe to assume that this will be his last Money in the Bank. Okay, so
Edge. Okay, go ahead.
So that being said, if that's the case, I will bump it up to a C. I will bump up to the C just because, okay, you did it twice, and that's all she wrote for that. Okay, I necessarily wouldn't give it a B, but
yeah, I think a B is going to that's just my opinion. I mean, I understand the opportunist stage. I do understand that, but a B that's a little too high for me. That's all.
Here's the next year. CM Punk winning his first of 2 Money in the Bank wins at WrestleMania 24 and holding it for 92 days, cashing it in on Raw against Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship after Batista beating Edge down in the middle of the show.
I'm going with B for CM Punk for his first cash in. That was like our up and coming CM Punk that we was looking for, ECW. So with me, I'm a CM Punk fan. You know what I mean? I was okay with that. He took advantage. Yeah. I mean, I will put that as good. That's something you want to see. I mean, you won't want to see that would have happened and then somehow Edge would have spared CM Punk and beat him, and it was like. So that's why I'm going with B. I think that was kind of a big surprise for us.
Not the cherry pick behind, but I'm also going to say B because I believe it was like within whatever that next Raw was, even Edge that came out and had to give kudos to CM Punk for doing what he had to do. Because even him himself would have said, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, all right. And that was a big, like, you know, respect. Like, I hate that it happened, but okay. And so with that, CM Punk definitely established like, hey, you know, don't ignore these small guys over here. We can do it too. And he proved us that like I could be over opportunist where you least expected. And like you said, it was the first time that it wasn't like in an actual, you know, match gear getup. It definitely brought in the idea that Money in the Bank can be used at any given time. If made us as fans to really think, wow, the possibilities of what this can mean. And so I would give it a B.
I love the poetics of this one because he cashed it in on someone that would have cashed it in twice. Let's go with the next year, which is 2009. He won it at the 25th anniversary and did another surprise cash in at Extreme Rules against Jeff Hardy for the World Heavyweight Championship once again, and becoming the only person to win back-to-back Money in the Banks.
Double check. Wasn't that also during the time too after they cashed in? He had like that rivalry with Jeff, and then how you basically just, hey, I'm straight edge. Wasn't that during that time? The fact that angle happened the way that led to because of that, and then use that as fuel. I'm gonna give that an A just for the simple fact of like that further edged on that persona, and he really just rode with it. it's like this was like whole thing of like, yeah, you were still leaning towards like you had your ruthless aggression era, but still like approaching PG. But before we get to that point, hey, by the way, I don't do such and such. What about you? That's why you lost. The man did his job. I can't fault that.
Yeah, definitely. He definitely did his job. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to ride my brother with this one. I think I'm gonna have to go with A. One, um, you're the first one to do the 2-time cash in back to back. So that showed us in a year he was able to come and do the same thing. You know, even if you lost the title, it's okay. But even if for you to come back and show us, you do it 1 year, your first try, you get it, then you come back and do it again, and then like the crowd wasn't feeling him, but it was just the fact of that was his time. As far as the the mind games with Jeff Hardy, that was different. That was different. So that's why I'm going with A with that one. I think that was in a good bracket.
I was also wanted to point out Jeff Hardy only held that belt for a few seconds because he wasn't the defending champion. He beat Edge for the belt at the event, and people were ecstatic because Jeff Hardy finally won the championship that he was hoping to win for the first time, only to be taken away that moment briefly.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it was just because we had our first Money in the Bank winner, back to back years. That's like I said, that's why I'm going with that. I mean, you showing me that you're giving me the opportunity. Like you showing me this is what you want. This is what you want to do. I think Vince made a good call with that one. I think Vince made a good call, and you'll very rarely hear me ever say that.
I agree with A.
Yes.
I loved it. I kept liking the CM Punk more. I liked him more as a. I always like him more as a heel than a face. The next one, I don't know where everyone's going to be on this one. Jack Swagger, 2010 WrestleMania 26.
Can I go first? Please? I just want to know.
Go ahead. Should I put it at D already? Let me find Jack Swagger and put him on.
So me personally, I gotta go with D, man. I mean, I will go under that, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go to D. I don't know. It's just like I don't like they tried so hard to push him, and I think it just didn't catch people's attention. I mean, well, me personally, just me. I can't speak on all the other WWE fans, but me like it just certain times like it's like once you turn heel, it's not right to me. It's like, and for Jack Swagger, I think that was his time to be heel. It was like it just wasn't good for me. He was trying to prove himself more. It was you could have did it a little better. That's all. But I just it just didn't hold no weight for us. It wasn't like, yeah, Jack Swagger. It wasn't no. That's what we wanted. I don't think that's what anybody wanted. Did you guys want that? Just want to know.
I'm just gonna say this real quick. First of all, we the people. You're gonna tell me that Jack Swagger, that cashed in out of the whopping 2 days, the greatest in his mind, didn't do much. Yeah, D. He gets a D. That's no. That's no.
One that I feel is worse, but this is one of the D levels. Jack Swagger is the last Money in the Bank winner to win it at WrestleMania. After that same year, they introduced the Money in the Bank premium live event or pay-per-view at the time. And not only that, they introduced for a few years a Money in the Bank briefcase per brand. So that year, not only Jack Swagger won, but 2 more people won a Money in the Bank contract. And we're going to go with the first SmackDown Money in the Bank winner, Kane, doing a surprise cash-in at the pay-per-view itself against Rey Mysterio for the World Heavyweight Championship, pinning Mysterio after retaining the title against Jack Swagger, becoming the first wrestler to have a same night cash-in.
Give Kane a D in that regard, because 40. I mean, yeah,
fan of same night cash-ins because people think they're protected. It just gives the idea that you're not, once someone wins Money in the Bank, you are not safe as a champion.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not faulting the cash in. The cash in was hilarious to me. I'm more so going to the point of after that, did it really do much for his career? Yeah. So I feel like he was more of like a transitional champion for the next guy, and so that's why I'm standing with a D on that.
Okay, first of all, we're not gonna disrespect Kane on the show. That's what we're not gonna do. Um, we're just not gonna disrespect this cash in. I'm going to see with the cash in. 49 minutes was cool. But I think at that time it was more so who was dominant on each brand.
That's right.
And the world heavyweight was the biggest target. Everybody wanted to be a world heavyweight champion, no matter what you seen. You had Raw, but it was always about that world heavyweight. I don't know. That was like back then when SmackDown was really SmackDown. So it was all about the world heavyweight champion at that time.
That
Yeah,
was all.
that's what. Yeah, like that was the high point. It was like it was all about champions. Who was the champion? And then but the world. It was something about that world heavyweight. Was like it was just that gold. You wanted that gold. You wanted that.
Also, I guess it helped for the fact that it was also during that time they had that thing. And I won't beat you, not yet.
Yeah, definitely. The first same night cashing, and like you said earlier, once you get that briefcase, you're not safe. You're not safe, and it's scary. Scary because you'll go into that match thinking, okay, I'm gonna just do this and get it out the way, and then a cash in happens like that. But for the same night and the first time, yeah, I gotta go to see for Kane.
Okay, on the same year for Raw, this the Miz won the Money in the Bank for Raw.
He cashed in on the Viper. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that as D. I'm thinking D. I'm thinking
Jack Swagger
no. Okay. So I'm putting it in front of Jack Swagger. I'm putting it in front of Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger, you're gonna be on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. That's where I'm at with that. That was Miz's upcoming time though. That was his upcoming time. I know after that, like I said, they did give him a push after that. Like I think every champ, like once you cash in for that title, you get that push. And I think they give you like that first month to see what you can do. If you could bring the crowd out on SmackDown, on Raw, that's what we want to see. I think that gave Miz that next gen push, for him to actually get his career a little better. So yeah, that's what I'm going. But it's way better than Jack Swagger. I'm sorry, it's better than Jack Swagger.
Oh no. Jack Swagger is the low standard. I'm not going to disrespect the Miz like that in regards to Jack. So let's see.
A C? Oh.
Wait. What was the thing?
But I'm
Wait.
gonna put him at D.
Put him at D. Okay. So he's at D.
I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with you want to put him at C. I mean, it's just for me. It's just at that time. It just like I said. Me personally, I look for that that animal. That's what I look for at that time. I want to see the beast. Like once you cash in, this is the time to show me you got a higher future. And
Yeah.
and with the Miz around that time, it was more so goofy promos. So I don't. It was more so took it serious. And then you got to think about it. He got Orton did fight back. Yes, I'm not taking that from him, but he got beat down by Nexus. And if anybody know the Nexus, man, they ran the show for a while. They ran the show for a while. So I definitely got to go with, like I said, that's what I mean. But if you want to go higher, I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm willing to agree. But those are my opinions. Why, like I said, I'm putting them at D. But that's all.
I feel it. I will definitely put him at C behind Kane. I do agree with Phenom to basically say it's at that moment you have to really determine how what you gonna do with this rock. We gave you this rock, show us what you're gonna do with it. Still getting his feet wet, had like a little bit from that, and Randy Orton, like you said, wasn't beaten. He was still ready to go, ready to fight. I can't put him below Kennedy. I just can't.
C is a fair for him, and I think eventually he has another cash in years later, and I think that probably was more interesting. Maybe we'll see. 2011 at Money in the Bank 2011 for SmackDown, Daniel Bryan wins the briefcase and holds it for 154 days, cashing it in at TLC. And this is a weird predicament because he tries to cash it in twice. He storyline wise, he originally said that he will hold the briefcase until the following year's WrestleMania and cash it in then. But he lies because he was during his no era, and he tries to cash it in on Mark Henry when he was hurt. He had a leg injury, and Big Show kicks him off his crutches, and he hurts him. And Daniel Bryan comes down in SmackDown, cashes it in. He beats him 1, 2, 3, and he gets the belt. But here comes Theodore Long from the running down, almost running out of breath, and he's saying, "Hold on, player." And he's saying that due to the rules, which it's them adding rules to the briefcase, you can't cash in on someone that is not clear to compete, which he wasn't. So they had to take away that opportunity. They gave him back his briefcase, and he eventually waited until TLC when, after the Big Show beats Mark Henry for the belt and cashes it in on Big Show himself and becoming a heavyweight champ.
There was a lot of shenanigans leading up to that whole thing, the back and forth of him trying to cash in. Thank you for reminding me of that, because I that was one of those things that was like, the only thing I remember from that was him losing it eventually so quick. So there was like a lot of shenanigans going on with that and leading to. This is a little bit on the tough side. It's definitely no. As far as S, A, and B concerned, no, I'm not gonna. No. Aaron, I like you. You convinced me to give him an upper C higher than RVD. I'm not gonna give him a B, but he gets a C. He gets a C because I'll give him higher than RVD just because he was just establishing that. I mean, compared career-wise, after with RVD, after that kind of fizz, Daniel Bryan, while had an unfortunate situation that happened even after going through all that, he still was trying to make that no movement, into his own, even beyond that. So he was still hanging around for a bit, eventually getting ready to, foresee things to come for him later on. I'm not gonna give him a B. I will give him a C though.
No,
I was nice.
This okay. We talk about Daniel Bryan here. That okay. So Aaron said it was the no movement, huh?
Okay.
No, I know you said it was a no movement. I just think the match itself was just. I mean, it wasn't a match, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think that would have to be like in the C mark. Because it's like, if you really go back and watch that, it was like, for you to do, like, he struggled to pin Mark Henry at first. That was crazy. He struggled for that, and then, like you said, Teddy come down the ring, get the cash, and tell him, no, we're gonna swap back. We gotta do this over. It's not right. I just, like I said, it gotta be. Like I said, it wasn't bad because I don't think any cashing is gonna be crazy. Unless, like I said, unless you're Jack Swagger. But other than that, Daniel Bryan, so yeah, I'm sticking with a strong C on that.
No,
I mean, a low B. It gotta be a low B, and like I said, it gotta just be just because you just made it there. But like I said, it just how that promo was going. I get it, but Big Show did it.
To everyone. By the
Yeah,
way, he lied. He said he
yeah.
was gonna cash it in at WrestleMania.
But that's a heel mark. I mean, that's what I'm giving it the IC. That's a heel mark.
He still
I just
wasn't
want
known.
to go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say he still wasn't known as a B+ player yet, so that's why he gets a
No,
C.
yeah, he definitely. Now that is definitely that's a fact. Now, Arrow, he definitely wasn't known as a B plus.
2011 Raw winner for that year, Alberto Del Rio days, cashing it in at SummerSlam against CM Punk for the WWE Championship after CM Punk defeated John Cena. This was during the era that CM Punk, quote unquote, quit WWE and left with the title up at the Premium Live event before that. I believe it was at the Money in the Bank. And then he comes back, they try to unify, both of them face for unifying the titles, and then here comes this Punk, Alberto Del Beto.
Yo.
I'm just gonna start, and no, I don't care. He's boring. He's boring. His promos were good when he started, but then he was just another person in the middle of nowhere. The Money in the Bank didn't do crap for him.
My rule of thumb is what's worse than getting a super hype reaction or a boo reaction is no reaction. And I feel like that was the epitome of Alberto's reign. Is when he did came out. I do remember like there were times when he came out, there was really I had to think like, is the fans like are they cheering or there's the silence. You hear the music, but it's kind of like I feel like if there was a bubble, I feel like they can share that bubble together. But if it has to be one or the other in that situation, I might as well just put something below Jack. Because at least Jack did get some pop. Not much, but he did get a pop versus.
All right. Okay. So, y'all telling me Alberto Del Rio was not the man with the wink. That's what y'all telling me. I just want to know, like, with the wink, the wink, the eye, the eye. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of B minus.
Wow.
I'm gonna get out of B minus.
This I gotta
I
hear.
want to say that was the Money in the Bank when was it Triple H the referee of that match?
Yes.
They didn't expect the catch. Triple H didn't expect the catch. His face was shot. I noticed that his face was shot. But I think with that one, I'm going B minus because, like I said, at that time that was his era. That was the Alberto era, man. That was the armbar submission. That was a golden era for him. That's my personal opinion. The cash. So I'm me personally. I'm going B minus with that one. I'm going B minus above Daniel Bryan and RBD. I'm like I said, that was his era. That was his era, man. That was really Alberto era. That, like I said, that gave him a push. And I want to say after that, I think he became, like a big heel. I think he became a big heel at that time. After that,
I'll give him a lower. I'll give him a mid C.
Mid C.
I'll put him
Okay.
between Kane and Edge.
All right, I'll take that. I don't know.
You make a good point. You make a good point.
It's cool. It's cool. It like I said, it's just how it happened. You know what I mean? Like I said, that match was because Daniel Bryan match. It was like it was plain though. You know what I mean? Like it was nothing there for me. It just wasn't. It was Big Show knocked him off his.
He cashed in like any typical before. That's why I think there's no way he should be above, one of the biggest cashers, which is Edge, and then the way Daniel Bryan did thing, and then RVD being the first one to announce.
Okay. All right.
Me personally. All right. So let's go to 2012 SmackDown. Dolph Ziggler wins the Money in the Bank in 2012 and doing a surprise cash-in at the infamous very first Raw after WrestleMania 29 in New Jersey.
I'm giving this a B minus. Dolph Ziggler, that was it. Definitely was a good but like I said, that Raw was definitely excellent too. That Raw was definitely decent, and I mean I was okay with that. I was okay with Dolph Ziggler, Mister. It's his show, you know. I don't know. Just that zigzag is just a little different for me, but I gotta go with a B minus. No, it I don't know. It's kind of plain. It's kind of like a cold breaker, but like just one handed or something like that. Like I don't know.
Not good that.
Like it's like you just choking me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But it's a good move though. Decent. So yeah, that's why I'm going B minus. I'm going B minus. How about you guys?
Dolph Ziggler, the man, the which if you're asking for Shawn Michaels and someone tells you we have Shawn Michaels at home, this is the Shawn Michaels at home. Jokes aside, though, that was quite a bit pop when that opportunity happened, and that moved into things. I'm not going to give him an S or an A in regard, though, because the point of that all is pop is great. What do you do with that? I will give him a B. I more so am conflicting on whether if he should be at that B spot right now or be higher than CM Punk. But I feel like going into it and thinking about it, I think he's suited where he's at now. Right next. Even with that pop, it's like, you know, as high as the pop can be, it tends to fizzle, because I think this was also during that time too, to which we've seen a lot of it when, you know, fans would say stuff like, hey, we want to see this, and that happens, and then they don't really stick with it as far as, you know, what they ask for it. It's kind of like that weird fickle phase of age. And it's kind of like,
so would you say a high C minus? Or
no, I'm okay. I'm okay with the B. It's more so as far as what he was able to do with it. Is he like higher than CM Punk or still lower than CM Punk? I feel like he's at what he needs to be right there. Like as far as that.
So I'm fine with B. I love that moment. I was hoping a lot for Dolph Ziggler. He did okay with the belt, but after he lost it, not much happened that I recall. If I don't remember it, it's not as memorable as I hoped it would be. Part of 2012, on the Raw side, John Cena wins the Money in the Bank, holds it for 8 days, becoming the second person to announce a cash-in, and he announces it against CM Punk, only to be the very first to lose or be an unsuccessful cashing it in, but he becomes unsuccessful cashing it in due to a disqualification, and because of title championship rules, you cannot win via disqualification. So he didn't lose because he got pinned, but it still counts as a failed cash-in.
So the purpose of this list, right? Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
The sole purpose at the end of the day is either did you get the job done or you didn't. John Cena, despite circumstances, didn't get the job done. F.
And you knew what you came in to do. You knew what you came in to do. So disqualification, pull whatever. Hey, no, bro. I gotta go F. Bro. You just ruined the whole moment. And that's what I'm saying. Come on, man. Listen, we gotta come to an agreement. You gotta go with the F-bomb here. It's over. That was horrible. And it's crazy. I remember that. But it just so 8 days. And then you cash in. That's up the Money in the Bank. Yeah. I'm gonna be the first one to get disqualified while I'm trying to do Money in the Bank. How? On the cash in? Come on.
after after the fact that you announced that you were going to cash in, it wasn't even a surprise cash in.
It wasn't even a surprise cashing. So you announced it and then don't. So now, mind you, back then, Cena was. That was one of their main stars. That's what WWE had. Cena was going to every brand, getting beat up, knocking everybody out at the same time. You know what I mean? So for you to pull that off, it's crazy. Like, better than that, bro. I'm sorry. You gotta go with the F. I gotta give you F on that. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Jack Parker X won.
Talking about another unmemorable one, 2013 SmackDown, Damian Sandow doing a surprise cash-in on previous year's winner, John Cena, for the World Heavyweight Championship, becoming the next unsuccessful cash-in, but outright losing because pretty much John Cena clobbered the crap out of him. He is also the net one that I personally think did a very nice job customizing the Money in the Bank briefcase after RVD, doing a whole leather briefcase. But other than that, that's the only thing I remember from his time. Him doing a nice customized briefcase.
Well, I would give him the fact that, and unlike John Cena, he at least attempted to do a surprise cash-in.
I'm kind of in the F there. Me personally, I'm kind of in the F. I mean, I would say it's. I mean, he held the Money in the Bank for a long time, but okay. I mean, that briefcase was nice. I'm not gonna lie, that briefcase definitely was nice.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I will put it in front of Cena. Yeah. Okay. So
coming after that, 2013 Raw's winner was Randy Orton, holding it for just 35 days, doing a surprise cash-in at SummerSlam against Daniel Bryan, who won the WWE Championship from the current champion John Cena after they agreed to do a match because John Cena wanted to give an opportunity to someone that he believed deserved it. He cashed it in while Triple H again was referee, but after winning the belt, Triple H attacks Daniel Bryan and allows Randy Orton to cash it in because they believe, and this was the beginning of the new corporate group. He's saying that Daniel Bryan wasn't good enough to be champ, and that began the eventual yes movement that we saw leading up to WrestleMania 30.
Can I go? I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. That was a corporate. That was getting to that corporate point. That definitely was going to get to that corporate point. So yeah, I'm going with B. I mean the cashing was kind of I think it played the purpose. Triple H is the head behind all of it. He makes it happen. We're good to go. And then you got to think about Evolution members. So I'm okay with that.
I agree with the B. I agree with the B because B is what's best for business.
2014, continuing this corporate storyline because it just keeps on getting better. 2014, Seth Rollins, before he became frickin', wins the Money in the Bank thanks to corporate, holding it, for 273 days, doing the infamous heist of the century at WrestleMania 31 when he cashes it in on the match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, pinning Roman Reigns and winning the belt.
I gotta give that A. A.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give it an S, but listen.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Listen, that was everywhere. That was on Good Morning America. That was on any live TV show. It was huge. I kid you not. I forgot where I was at watching it. I watched the casting, but then my mom had reminded me, "Do you see this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I seen it yesterday." She's like, "Oh my god!" She's like, It's on Good Morning America. Mind you, we never seen him go. I mean, but it's crazy. I think that was a big cash in. That was a big cash in right there.
To me, I feel is the cash in out of everyone because until that point, no one cashed it in at WrestleMania itself. Not only that, you dare to intrude into the main event that was built up for weeks. We had no sign of him thinking of cashing it in. Nothing. He did that
Mm-hmm.
amazing match with that amazing RKO finish that everyone still talks about. He wins it. He holds it for a while. And then not only that, he holds it for a while. In the summer, he wins the US belt from John Cena and becomes a two-belt champ. He just had an amazing run as a heel champ for months.
But when he won, and the first thing he did was he just swung the belt. That was the first time just swinging the belt. That was the first time we seen the helicopter.
Definitely, I will say high risk, high reward because you had the balls to do that during the match when Brock Lesnar was in there.
Brock Lesnar.
High risk, high reward because that if his score is already made already with the things you've done with Shield and then eventually brought their on and became heel. That basically at that point, anytime if you see like a highlight reel about Money in the Bank, guarantee you're always going to see that shot of Seth Rollins running as his music hits, running towards that ring. That was as hype can be, and that's definitely a moment that people are going to talk about. And because of that, and then I would say that's probably the sole sensation for us. I will give it that. I can see why you would say A because it was everywhere, and you know in our inner core, we don't want to say that we believe in perfection because nothing's perfect. However, this was damn near close.
That was this close. That was close. It gets no better cashing than that. Me personally, matches yes, cash-ins no. Um, no. That was too big for us, and that was a moment where you're telling me you're willing to betray your brother for anything.
Well, he already betrayed. Betrayed.
No, but what I'm saying though, the biggest moment, as your brother's losing or whatever, you're willing to go ahead and show. You're basically telling him like, I'm gonna show you what I can do. Even though you're getting beat up, I'm gonna come in here and take this title, just so y'all can see. I'm gonna just do it because everybody they waiting for me to cash in. He waited till the end of the match. The end of the match,
Mm-hmm.
and when his music hit, nobody expected that. Everybody went down. The crowd went wild. That was an amazing cash in. Amazing cash in.
To me, that cemented his career, and he just got better after this. Oh, after that, the next year, 2015, when you would expect something great, but no. 2015, Sheamus wins the Money in the Bank, holds it for 161 days, and does a surprise cash-in at Survivor Series to Roman Reigns. Poor Roman Reigns. 2 years in a row, man. Cashed in seconds after Reigns defeated Dean Ambrose for the vacant WWE title during the Survivor Series event. Sheamus being Sheamus, what can I say? I don't remember this title ring, to be honest. I mean this
This was a time when this one like everything was going dry in the WWE era. This is around that time when everything was going dry. Like literally, they were just trying to put. I want to say this is like right after. I think this is when Finn Balor came into the picture. Everybody fighting for this title. I don't remember who the champion was that it got vacant though. Who was the champion that made it get vacant? I don't remember who it was, but I do remember this cash in. I don't remember the crowd being too wild for it. I'm going to get at. I'm going back to I'm going back to C.
Okay.
I'm going back to C. That's why I'm going with that one. I'm going back to C. It wasn't really impressive. The Celtic War, that was his time to shine. He had it for 161 days. Yo, they be sleeping with these briefcases. I don't know what's going on with that. Like, jeez. Jeff Allen almost had it for 2 years. I mean, he almost had it for a year. Sheamus almost had it for what? Almost 10 months. Crazy, crazy.
You know what's wild to me? It's wild to me that I remember the only thing I remember in that whole mix of things of Samus was after all of that. I just remember him and Cesaro was cooking together as tag teams. You know that was enjoyable. I don't remember this. I do not remember.
See, most of these like most of these moments, like I still watch. Like I go on Peacock and like I really watch stuff, like on Peacock, like all different old matches. So it's like I come across certain matches and like I put on Extreme Rules and I watch one match. Next thing I know, it's just rewind, playing old matches. Like it was just crazy. I think the other day I was just doing that, and my daughter, she watched wrestling. She really don't watch it, but she watch it here and there. I came in the house and she was like, oh, she's mad because this, and I was just dying. It was just funny because she was playing Fortnite, but she ended up listening to it so much that she was watching, like listening to what was going on. So like, but this match right here, like I said, if I don't know, like some people don't really remember this one. Shame it. Like I said, it wasn't big for us. It wasn't big. That's all.
So the reason the belt was vacated, the original holder was Seth Rollins. This was the time he had his first knee injury during a house show, and he had to drop the title. And then he came back and he did a face turn, and in that WrestleMania, I think that's the one he went against Triple H, because Triple H was mad. Oh, you failed us as part of the authority, blah blah blah. So that was the reason he had to leave for a few months to fix his knee. Again, this was during the suffering succotash era of Roman Reigns, which I honestly didn't care about. So I honestly stopped watching after WrestleMania 31 religiously. 2016, this one's an interesting one. Dean Ambrose winning it at Money in the Bank 2016, cashing in it less than an hour. He did a surprise cash-in during the match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins beats Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, to only get it losing it against Dean Ambrose, making it that one night that all three members of the Shield held the title during that night. Other than that, that's all I recall from that cash-in. That was the only moment I remember.
Okay, let me get unblurred. There we go. So very interesting point to bring up that all three members of the Shield held that title all in that same night. That was a nice touch. The one thing with Dean Ambrose is lunatic frenzy. Fighting champion, you'll give it to you as best as you can for what he can do or what he was allowed to, because there are things that you can only do so much. That being said, it was definitely one of those. I also don't remember Dean Ambrose reigning as champion, and I don't think it was a long one. I think it was a pretty short one, if I'm not mistaken. He lost it to Bobby Lashley, and then he left the WWE after that. Because of that, the circumstances surrounding that, and ring-wise, he's a C. I just don't know where to put him at C-wise.
I would think he's more memorable than he's below Kane, definitely. I think he's better. Is he better than The Miz though? He's better than Kennedy and Sheamus, that's for sure. I think him being part of the Shield and doing that moment is the only thing that's making him be in this rank.
I don't know where to put him at. I don't know where to put Dean at. That was a sneak attack. Cashing. So, fires with that, I really don't know. I really don't know where cashing at. I don't know where to put him at. I mean, like I said, the cashing was decent. Can I put him in C?
Yeah.
Can I put him in C?
I think we all agreed he's in C. It was just a matter of where
Um,
in C.
Here,
I mean, he definitely in front of Kennedy. He's in front of Kennedy. He, I'm putting him behind Edge. That's wrong. Which I think too much. I just think because Dean Ambrose, like I said, it's around the time when everybody got that time to shine.
Okay. 2017 was an important year for Money in the Bank because it was the introduction of the female women's Money in the Bank briefcase. And in 2017, under much scrutiny, Carmella is the very first winner, holding it for either 287 days or 290, depending how you think about it. James Ellsworth helped her win the briefcase, only to be stripped at the next SmackDown, and they decided to hold another ladder match for the briefcase without banning James Ellsworth. And eventually she still wins it and holds it from there 287 days, doing a surprise cash-in on Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown's women's belt, becoming not only the first female Money in the Bank winner, but also being still the only woman to hold it for the longest at 287 days.
Okay. So now this is not the match when he was hanging from the middle of the ring, is it?
And he drops it to her, or he helps her hold the ladder or something like that.
Okay, because I remember he was trapped in the middle of the ring on one of them joints. He was trapped in the he was inside of like a little box, and he ended up breaking out.
I think that was after, but regardless, he was helping her.
Yeah,
Mr. Chins himself.
I don't know where to come at that. I don't know where to put that one at. I mean, I wasn't really excited for that. I'm not gonna be lie. I really can't stand Carmella.
That one made me question whether we wanted to continue having these matches.
I just don't know.
Toward that much. Continuing to hate him. I like Carmella, to be honest. In the beginning, during this era, she wasn't much to consider, but eventually she got a little better.
I give her a D.
High D?
I give her a D. Yeah, yep. I give her a high D. Yeah. I definitely give her a high D. Yeah. Yep.
Swagger? I think she still did better than Jack Swagger. Give my Stan Allen Queen some props. Okay, so in the men's side, in the meantime, we get Baron Corbin. Yeah, exactly. Winning it for 58 days and failing to cash it in when he loses to Jinder Mahal for the men's WWE Championship belt. Someone helped or confused Baron Corbin. I believe it was John Cena, allowing Jinder Mahal to do a rolling pin-up and allowing him to keep the belt. And this was during the era that they were pushing Jinder Mahal for the sake of getting WWE into India. Good old Vince McMahon.
First of all, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I said, first of all, dang, Cena, just because you were unsuccessful of cashing in Money in the Bank, you just gotta pull everyone down with you that you just don't care for, huh?
Hey, man, I know what him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like this one kind of stings because personally, up until that, I was actually I was a fan of Baron Corbin back then. You know, Lone Wolf. He had something cook and go for him, and then it fizzled out as quickly as it rose, and that nailed his career on the coffin at that moment of where he was going to stand with that, because eventually it's just boop 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 boop. And I mean, he got. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
2 months. And yeah, John Cena messed him up. Man. This was the era that people questioned: is John Cena actually helping people move on?
So now the question is: do we throw this in the F, or do we just throw this in the trash? I just
at the end of the
I feel like I have to give him higher than John Cena.
yeah, because
Okay, okay, okay.
I will give that honorable mention, but at the end of the day, despite the circumstances around it, is either you were successful or not, and if you're not,
And yeah, yep. No matter, yeah, it's one or the other. You know what I mean? Like I said, once you cash in, you're going to win that title or you're not going to win that title. You're going to give the crowd what they want, or you know, and nobody like the flake, but if I mean, it's Baron Corbin, like he said, it was a long wolf time. This is when he was, upcoming. That in the days hurts in real life, yo. I just want y'all to know that.
That was during his best. 2018. One of my favorite female cash-ins. Alexa Bliss cashing it in less than 3 hours against Nia Jax. She attacks. Nia Jax had a match that night against Ronda Rousey, who just started for her first time at WWE. She had a successful WrestleMania match, but now she was going for the title. Everyone thought she was going to win, but all of a sudden, here comes Alexa Bliss attacking Ronda Rousey to create a disqualification, ending the match, but then attacking Nia Jax as well, asking to cash it in, and winning the belt. Holding it just for a mere 2 hours and 52 minutes. And the balls, again, the reason I like it, because she was one of the first females to do it against Nia Jax. Who would have thought? She was going into a match against two people were afraid to wrestle. Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey, a UFC fighter. This tiny woman. And then she held the title for the third time, I believe.
yeah.
That's crazy. Less than 3 hours is crazy though.
I think the women's champion, the women's Money in the Bank match was the first one of the night. And
so
it was the first match of the night, so she held it that whole time. And I think the
yeah.
Ronda and Nia Jax was the second before the final.
Okay. Yes. Y'all go ahead. I don't know about this one. Kind of
you can misquote me on this one. From what I've seen, looked up some template information as far as what she dealt with that ring. Says on there, Bliss that started a feud with Sasha Banks, who she defeated on July 9th at Great Balls of Fire by countout, before losing the title to Banks on August 20th at SummerSlam. So she had the ring for like 112 days after. But I guess she regained the title 8 days later. So that was kind of interesting. I guess it was kind of like one of those things of like they wasn't too sure how to really approach this with this other than the feud. And then they decided to say
it was a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Hit or miss.
I will give her a C. I'll give her a C.
What? Oh, well, we got 3 more spaces in the C. 4.
We only have 4 people. We can continue. It can go on forever. Don't worry about that.
Okay, no. I was acting. That's all. But that's okay. Okay. Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
I think she's above. I'm gonna say she's top C.
Oh, it's not.
Like I said, she went into a match. First of all, it wasn't after the match. It was during the match.
Yeah.
2 of the heavy powerhouses currently at that time in the WWE, and with no worries, she knew she can use the briefcase as a weapon. She heard of them both, and again had the balls. The next woman to have balls like that was Liv Morgan when she did it again to Ronda Rousey a few years later, but she was the first. She didn't do it. She was the second women's, and she actually did a cash in that I believe is a legit for the women's. Because honestly, out of all these women, I feel she's one of the ones I do remember best. Everyone else after, wasn't that. It was whatever. and some were circumstantial. Her bestie, Braun Strowman, wins it for 70 days. Holds it for 70 days. And doing an announcement to cash it in against Roman Reigns at Hell in the Cell. They will have a Hell in the Cell match that ends up in a no contest. Before that, he successfully defends the contract, though, against Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. And that was it. It went to no contest, and again, because you can't win that way in a championship match, it was an unsuccessful cash-in.
I'm gonna go D. I'm gonna go D. Go D. How about you, brother?
I agree. Even though it was deemed as unsuccessful, it was a no contest due to that. So that's like an asterisk that's helped him from not being F. So a D.
So now my question is, would y'all rather have a no contest or a disqualification? That's the question.
I think it was better than the unsuccessful of John Cena.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, like I said, would you rather have a no contest where can't nobody get in the ring, or would you rather have it where?
I think it's better than Baron Corbin's because at least he had a decent match or a match to begin with, and he had a match against a big competitor. That's Roman Reigns, not losing to Bayley. 2019, winning and winning the Money in the Bank and cashing it in less than 2 hours against best former horsewoman Charlotte Flair. Another same night cash-in once again.
I'm feeling a C. I'm feeling a C. I mean, the reason I'm going for a C because she came into the match. She came into right through the end of the match. Charlotte Flair wasn't done fighting. I mean, she fought hard. She wasn't done. She actually kind of got the upper hand in the match. She actually kind of got the upper hand on Bayley. So I think that was kind of a clutch match. Like I said, Bayley still pulled it off. So like I said, I'm putting her in a C. I mean, because the match wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. She crashed the match. She did what she had to do, and she got up out of there with the W.
Because at least even after the fact, having that ring and then lose, she still stayed within the company. And I know circumstances beyond the control, reasons. I get it with the whole Dean thing, but at the end of the day, she stayed. Dean didn't, so that puts it above Dean.
In the men's side, and this was a fun year, Brock Lesnar wins the Money in the Bank in the same year that he loses against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 35. He comes in a few months later as a surprise competitor in the match, wins it, and cashes it in on Seth Rollins himself at Extreme Rules after him and his future or current wife Becky, they tag team to go against another group and wins the match, but unfortunately he was hurt and he wins. But one of the biggest things that Brock Lesnar did was obviously the boombox briefcase going around, started dressing up like he was a street guy and holding it to the side.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Brock used to do that dance when he had that drunk. He was gone. He was doing that dance with that briefcase. He was gone with it. He was gone. That era right there. I mean, I'm gonna have to give a B. Gotta give a B to boombox. Gotta give a B to boombox. Gotta give a B, man. Gotta give a B. Zeph actually had a chance to fight back in that match. He actually had a chance to fight back. Yep. It was shocking. But yeah, that little boombox. They need to put that in the game. I wish they put that in the game. I had that on all the time.
As for me, unrelated, but it is kind of related. You know what's stopping me from giving Boombox Brock a A instead of that agreeing to a B? I'm still sorry about that whole Kofi Kingston thing. I'm still sorry about that.
Listen, don't get me started on the show. Don't get me started on the show, man. Oh.
But yep, Boombox Bar gets a B.
2020 COVID Money in the Bank. For the males, Otis wins it in the most weird and unique Money in the Banks I've ever saw in my life, where they went into the corporate headquarters in Stanford. And both matches were happening at the same time, and they were basically racing from the lobby all the way to the roof to get to the briefcase and win it. Somehow, I think, yeah, it was AJ Styles who actually went up the ladder, and for some reason he grabbed it and somehow dropped it, and it landed in Otis's hand, making him the winner. And holding it for 193 days to only lose it when he defends it against The Miz, who holds it for an additional 119 days and cashes it in on poor Drew McIntyre.
I remember him and Tucker because they kept saying they was gonna make it into they kept saying they was gonna make it like a tag team because he was a tag team with Tucker.
Yeah.
So they kept saying, hey, he was gonna make it a tag team. And yeah, I remember him fighting with Roman after that. I remember him fighting with Roman. They had a match. And I think he helped Roman or something. And they thought he was gonna cash in on Roman at that time. I want to say this like right when Roman had first got like the Universal Championship.
I would give Otis a nice D.
Can't shake the caterpillar for too long.
Yeah, I think it. Give him a D. It's cool. I mean, I think they should have ran with that one.
They had no faith
I
in
mean,
this, unfortunately. So,
Oh,
went to The Miz, because he held it for the second half of this time. I didn't even know, because I wasn't watching it at the time. I don't even remember that was WrestleMania 37. I don't even remember WrestleMania 37.
I think that was kind of weird. Like I said, I don't think they should have stripped Otis of the title. I mean, of the briefcase, because it did fall. It fell in his hands. He caught it, Because remember, he went. I think that's why AJ went up, because he broke the first one. Otis broke the bottoms of the ladder, and AJ went up like right on the other side, or I think he went up the same side, and he couldn't get it. So I mean, I don't feel as though that was right for them to give it to the Miz like that in a regular match. You never seen that though. At that time, Otis had that momentum. He had the momentum. Everybody, was trying to see where this can possibly go. So I'm giving that a D. I'm giving that a D.
I agree because with that second reign,
Yeah.
it's like at this point in his career or everything, it's like, all right, I got it, but what do? It was basically like a what do moment, and it definitely was one of those reigns the second time around that I couldn't for the life of me even remember. Even if I was to look it up or stuff or the criteria about what was with his reign, I still gonna be like, that happened? It's at that point, if I have to look up and really just remember, Hey, it's no disrespect to Miz. I mean, Miz, hey, Miz
Yeah,
is one of those
but I don't think Miz didn't. I think he won that because of Tucker. If I think that's the match that he won because of Tucker. Because I want to say something that happened, and Tucker changed. Yeah, I want to say Tucker caused him the match. I want to say he caused him the match.
2020 for the females, Asuka wins, which she was a heavy on favorite to win it. She won the briefcase, but little did no one knew until the following night. That match was actually for the women's Raw championship, and the reason being because Becky announced that she was pregnant and that she will be taking time off from WWE to deal with her maternity, and she awarded the championship to the Money in the Bank winner. The whole time the belt was inside the briefcase. They revealed it that following Raw, and it was like a tearful moment between the two, because we also find out, or at least many people find out, that Asuka was also a mother.
I mean, because that meant a lot. I mean, I think that meant a lot to us. To see the female get I mean, that was something different. Like I said, they did two matches at the one time. That was kind of it was kind of fun to see. That's something you ain't gonna never really see. So like I said, I think I mean a B or I'm going to a C, like a C, a high C.
It's the bias I'm hearing. It was a definitely a wonderful hallmark moment.
Yeah, yeah, it was something for us to watch. Yeah, it was just I didn't know when it was gonna end. I just seen them running up here, fighting here. They went to Stephanie office or something like that. People were getting hurt. Like they was putting the people, they was putting them girls through a ring. All right.
2021, Nikki Ash winning the belt as a surprise cash in against, once again, Charlotte. And she wins. Nikki Ash wins on a Raw.
Yeah, I mean, she was that superhero. She was that superhero. With Nikki, can I put that? I don't know. I mean, probably a C. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. I think. I mean, like I said, that wasn't like it wasn't a big moment, but it was a big moment. She was a superhero.
Oh, you was breaking up for a bit, but I hear you now. As far as Nikki Ash, almost superhero. I'm okay with the placement of where they're there with that because aside from that, nothing. I mean, nice, wonderful pop for her to receive, but then after the fact, it's one of those things of no fault to her, but companies are always like, what can we do with her to extend that transitional champion at best?
I want to go big or I want to go home. Which one? Let me know. Let me know, man. I want to go big. I want to go home, man.
7 days. Does a surprise cash in also on Raw against Bobby Lashley. He cashes it in after Bobby Lashley faces Randy Orton.
Can I go high B?
You can go high B and you tell us why.
I'm going high B because we've been waiting. We was waiting for that. Kobe Mania had just happened. That got took away from us. And then think about it, Big E got took away from us the same. So I think that at that time it was like it was a big moment for New Day. That was their push. They had the tag team title forever. One of the best tag team champions ever behind Orton. Like I said, at that time, we was looking for Big E. He had a good promos. He cut it right. He had us ready to go. Everybody wanted to see Big E win. Everybody wanted to see Big E win. And if you didn't, it was just because you probably just I don't even know what was the reason. Can't think of a reason why you just didn't want him to win. But that cash in was definitely something serious. I mean, I kind of would have wanted him to see. I wanted to see if he would have cashed in on Kofi. That probably would have been something different. But Kofi didn't last that long. You know what I mean? But it's just they reunited as a family. So when it was Kofi time, they hyped Kofi up. When it was Big E time.
Okay, let's go into the Nets here. 2022, one of my other favorite cash-ins in the female side. Liv Morgan cashes in at Money in the Bank 2022, holding it for 2 hours, cashing it in on everyone's favorite, Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown's women.
I'm thinking top C. She took out Ronda Rousey. Ronda was a beast. She couldn't come back and beat Ronda. I mean, Ronda couldn't beat her. Took it, like I said, like you said, more than 2 lives to do it. She was on her neck, and Liv had her. That was that run for her. That was her bread. That was her little point. That was her little push. I get out to her. You said,
He made her a competitor.
Yeah, must say, definitely made her a competitor. You know what I mean? Like I said, you win the Money in the Bank and then you go for Ronda Rousey. That's scary. That's scary, bro. That's scary. So, yeah, like I said, the only reason I want to say B because, like I said, they wasn't pushing it like that, and like I said, it all happened in one night. 2 hours. So probably if it was leading up to it, it could have been better. Could have been a better cash in or anything. She said, "I ain't gonna waste no time. I got it for 2 hours. I'm cashing in on it."
Alrighty. Oh, look at the C's got extended. Definitely putting her to the C. So right now we have her like at a top C, top than Alexa. Am I seeing that right?
I think higher than Alexa
You think she's higher than Alaska? What?
because she faced Ronda 3 times, and she wasn't. I don't think she.
That's like a give it. That's like a give or take, though. That's a give or take. I
I
don't know.
It's
to be all fair. I feel we need to give the women another look at, because I feel either Alexa or Liv Morgan needs to move up to B, because both of them defeated super heavyweights.
I give it.
I'll be more inclined to move Alexa to B.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'll let her be. I'll put her over there to be. Yeah, I'll put her up there. Compared to, well, yeah, you got Bailey. Yeah, Bailey. Yeah, but Nikki, I don't know. Like it's a lot of guys that, you know what I mean. Like I said, like who had, you know, weak runs compared to Liv Morgan, who actually fought a top superstar.
That same year, Austin Theory. Do I need to say more? I'll say more. He unsuccessfully cashed in, and he was the first one to challenge for a mid-card cash-in. And not only did he do that, he failed against Seth Rollins for the US title. Held it for 128 days also. He originally was trying to cash in for the heavyweight, but obviously you're asking for him to cash in against the tribal chief, which wasn't going to happen. I think it was during I don't know what was their thought behind giving it to him, knowing who was the current only champ, because this was the year when they unified both belts, when Roman was carrying double strap. Don't know why they were thinking, at least put someone that you can see him take a challenge. But they gave it to Austin Theory. Why? Because a certain millionaire thought so highly of this man. And unfortunately, this hurt him more than helped him, because now he's doing tag team work, which you don't even know anything about now. Anyway.
I'm taking the glasses off for this one, because this is one that tells me that I need to. So you mean to tell me, here we go. Tribal chief aside, you decide to settle for instead of having lasagna, you decided, you know what, I'm more for hot dog. I'll take an attempt to make this hot dog. Try to cook this hot dog, and then you drop the hot dog and the hot dog water on the floor when you feel that cash in. That's an F. No. Absolutely not.
Listen, brother, I gotta agree with you. I gotta agree with you, man. Mr. A Town I don't know what the yeah. A Town he just didn't make it. Don't get me wrong, he's a good superstar. Not taking nothing from him. But at that time, why would you go? You know what I mean? Like, I think it was more he was scared because Bob Lashley was putting everybody to sleep. He was making everybody tap. You know what I mean? And it's like they wanted to feud, you know, at that time, I want to say, ain't this when he was supposed to be Vincent's son or something? No, like a little golden boy.
It was his golden boy. Kind of like they treated Drew McIntyre.
That was a little golden boy, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, he didn't, you know, he went for a main roster. He went for a main roster, top 10. I mean, I gotta put him at bottom seed, man. I'm going bottom seed. I'm going bottom seed. I mean, he went for Zeth. He went for Zeth, man. I can't take that from the man.
I
He was good at Zach.
I
And I want to say,
I
go
will
ahead.
I will put him above Jack Swagger.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
And
Oh, D. Okay.
because he just pissed the hell out of me between going whether he was going to cash on Roman, whether he was not, and then he cashes it on the U.S. belt, a belt that he already had, and still failed. I just think it wasn't his fault. I think it was just poor booking
Mm,
in general.
okay.
He didn't. If he's his golden boy, he didn't need Money in the Bank. You can give him something else. Give him King of the Ring so he can look like a doofus king or whatever. But him winning the Money in the Bank and then trying to cash it in on Roman, at least give me someone more convincing to lose against Roman. At the time, give it to Sheamus again for all I care. At least you will get a banger match.
Like I said, the only reason I want to see because, like I said, he, I want to say at that time, 2022, what that was the Monday Night Messiah he was fighting. You know what I mean? I remember. I remember that came to my city and he won. He won the United States in my city though. He won that. He won that here.
Final year, the current past year, 2023, Io Sky wins it and holds it for a little over a month, cashing it in at SummerSlam against Bianca Belair after her winning the belt against Charlotte or whoever. There was a triple threat, I believe, and she beats both of them, winning it for a few seconds, and then here comes Bailey and Io, and she cashes it in, winning her first main event title in the WWE.
I'm going B. I'm going B, man. Io Sky did her thing. Bianca had a tough match there. Had a tough match. Her leg was messed up. Io Sky took the right time, the right moment, and they knew what time it was. Bianca she just barely won that match. She put all her energy in there, and she went all out, man. Io capitalized at the right time. Io took the right time, the right moment, and she did her thing. I'm giving her a B.
It definitely helped fortitude. Those story plots after that gave us to the events that we currently saw unfold. It was definitely it was natural. There was nothing that was like heavily forced about her reign, or even leading into the cash in after the accomplishment of winning. Um, Even with a injured, worn out Bianca Belair, still at the end of the day, that's Bianca Belair. And
That's the EST. The
yeah,
EST. She definitely did her thing. Like I said, I can't take nothing from Bianca. Like I said, that was kind of a turning point match. You know what I mean? Because it's a triple threat, anything goes. You know what I mean? And like I said, Io just waited for the right moment. Bianca still overcame the triple threat. It just at that point, you know what I mean, it's on the popping because now it's not. I mean, now it's a Money in the Bank. Anything goes. You know what I mean? Like I said, Io capitalized at the right time, and like I said, I think everybody was anticipating on it, but we was waiting for it. We was waiting to hear it come out. So that's why I kind of feel like I said I put her in B. I think that kind of was good, man. That was definitely decent.
Last but not least, Senor Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, winning it at Money in the Bank in 2023 and holding it for a record 281 days, the longest in the male's history of the Money in the Bank, doing a surprise cash-in at WrestleMania 40 against recently winning the title Drew McIntyre after getting his ass handed by CM Punk for being a little troll, becoming the first Latino top tier champ since Pedro Morales.
Senior Money in the Bank. Okay, I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. I'm gonna go B. No, you know what? I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go A. And the reason I'm going A is because that match was a crazy match, and then I think he took out R2 for that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, in
I
order
think
to
R
win the
two.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, did
Yeah.
no. I forgot who he took out in that ladder, but it was surprising. But I mean, it's what he was shooting for. You know what I mean? So I was okay with that. Now, as far as him leading it up, like the return to CM Punk, that backfire. All the times that backfired on Jeff Rollins. You know what I mean? And just for you to go 281 days and then finally cash in,
It was
it was
so.
worth. I just don't like how you cashed in.
It was
That's
so as a heel.
I think his push with Bad Bunny kind of gave him a little bit of push, but not what he was looking for. With the like with them being the LWO, and you know what I mean. Like it was like by him winning that Money in the Bank that made him the top dog. Because like I said, you was already in Judgment Day running it. You beat up Edge. Like, come on, you can't be hitting senior citizens beating them up. Like, so you beat. I mean, you did that, and I mean, you were just different. You was different. That's all.
They had a decent
You was different.
with.
Let me see right now. Now, if I had to change,
That's a heavy C area.
yeah, yo, that's what I was thinking. Um, if anything, I put Kennedy at D.
All right.
Kennedy and Sheamus.
Oh.
If we're being for real.
Well, thank you guys. Just to reiterate, where can we catch you guys on stream in the stream world?
Kick, Facebook, Twitch, and that's it. And TikTok, TikTok. Like I said, I'm live. Here and there, get my schedule together. But yeah, that's where you can catch me at. Any platform, I'll be there.
As for me, you can catch me on the Twitch side. Facebook, I have been posting highlight reels here and there, same as TikTok, although I need to get better at that. YouTube, pretty soon, I'm going to get some more further into deep detail with some highlights clips together for that. So be on the
Okay.
lookout.
Stream at the hour stream and Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube.